All right. So if you're new here, my name is Joe. I recently, or not so recently now, ruptured my SCAPHOLUNATE ligament, full rupture, along with a double arm break or wrist break, and another ligament that I don't know the name of. But here I am, and I just want to share my rehab journey, what that's looked like, what I've learned along the way. When I first did this myself, I had a look online. There's barely any first-hand accounts, especially not recent ones. So I thought, as I went through my rehab journey, then I would share. I'm getting towards, not the end, but further towards the end now. So yeah, here we are, thought I'd share. So if you're an athlete or literally anybody who is about to go through SCAPHOLUNATE reconstruction, this video is for you. I'm going to cover exactly what my injury was, exactly what my rehab has looked like, along with a few other things, the general like pain, my timeline, my range of motion, everything that I've kind of gone through along the way, just so that you know what to expect, basically. So, good wrist, bad wrist, some lovely scars to go along with. You actually can't really see this scar anymore until I watch off. So yeah, range of motion. That's my regular, that's my bad wrist, and then the other way, and the other way. Supposedly, I'll still get some decent range of motion back. It's been a while. I'm kind of stepping up my rehab efforts with the hope of getting a lot more range of motion back, but we kind of think like 90 and 90, about 180. I think probably now, just on a guess without looking, I mean, it's quite a big difference. It will always be quite a big difference now. It's one thing you've got to get used to pretty quick. I don't know, maybe about 60, 70 degrees. I don't know what the aim is to get to more than that, but the aim is just whatever new normal is, I'm cool. As long as we keep working towards what is better than now, that's kind of the key. So for a bit of a timeline, I first had the injury in September 2024. As I said, that was a double break along with a ligament rupture and damage to another ligament, so it was all at once. I play American football, so that was how I did it, self-inflicted. Moral of the story, don't play sport. Obviously, with a break, that was diagnosed as obvious. My arm was facing left, right, and center at the same time. The break was reset, and then over the next couple of months, multiple doctors, surgeons, whatever, had a look at the X-ray, CT scans, MRIs. We eventually got to the conclusion that I'd also ruptured my SCAPHOLUNATE ligament. Fast forward, the diagnosis would have been around December 2024, and then it took forever to get the surgery, which was in June 2024, so 6 months ago now. And now here we are, December 20, or January, 1st of January, New Year, 1st of January 26. And it's been a long ass journey. In the last few weeks, I've been cleared to return to sport. What that looks like right now, I don't know. I need to speak to physios who know a lot more than I do and who know a lot more than the NHS. Big up the NHS. But even they themselves, my physio there, essentially said speak to sports physios. They will know what return to sport looks like a lot better than we do. So that's the next point of call. So we'll see where we're at, but that's the basic timeline. September 2024. Original injury, diagnosis December 2024, surgery June 2025, rehab now ongoing. That is a pretty regular time span for this kind of injury. It's taken a little bit longer if, for example, you're a professional sports player or you have access immediately to good healthcare, which I would suggest is one thing I've learned. Then maybe the MRI would have picked up, or I would have got an MRI faster. But SCAPHOLUNATE ruptures are actually quite hard to recognize, especially when you're looking at something like an X-ray. You need an MRI. You need somebody to either have some kind of expertise in this type of injury and suggest that you get an MRI, or, as in my case, I think it's maybe the third doctor who looked at my X-ray, essentially saw two tiny little bones in the wrist and said, I don't particularly like the gap between those. It suggests that you might also have a ligament injury. To send me for a CT scan first, I don't really know why, then send me for an MRI. So that period of time took a little bit of time. And then from having the diagnosis, I can't actually believe it took 6 months it took between the diagnosis to then actually having my surgery. So probably a timeline of return to sport can be a little bit faster depending on when you get the surgery, depending on when you get all your diagnoses. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. That's 6 months post-surgery. What that return to sport looks like is obviously going to add a little bit of extra time on there. But in terms of the rehab itself, still quite a long way to go, I would say, to whatever new normal will be. So pre-op, prior to the surgery, I said that was the longest gap of this whole timeline was between the diagnosis and the surgery itself. I was advised to do a lot of strengthening work. I did. I don't know, obviously, how much that benefited me because I have nothing to compare it to. But if the doctor suggests it, then I'll suggest it as well. I did a lot of strengthening work. For most people, obviously, the injury will look different. I had a couple of other pretty serious injuries, as well as the ligament rupture itself to deal with, so I had to rehab my wrist anyway. That looked a little bit like a light version of what my rehab post-surgery has looked like. It's a lot of flexion, a lot of extension, a lot of grip strength training. I would suggest, obviously, speaking to a physio or a doctor. They will have likely already advised you if you found yourself here, but also do your own research. It always helps. We'll put up a little bit of videos of some of the rehab that I've done post-surgery, and it's very similar stuff to the pre-surgery as well. To be honest, one of the main things that stayed similar, not in terms of numbers, but my grip strength didn't disappear straight away. I found that I could do a lot of pull movements. Anything push was impossible. Even now, it's pretty much impossible just because of the lack of range of motion. But strengthening, grip strength trainer, pull movements, anything that you can do to strengthen your wrist is what I would suggest doing as often as you can. At that point in time, my pain wasn't horrendous. As long as I didn't do anything too crazy, the pain wasn't awful. As I said, I was recovering from that other injury anyway, so the pain from that had to subside first. But as long as I didn't do anything too far out of what I was comfortable with, the pain, and even now, is okay. It's only really immediately post-surgery where there's a lot of pain. But again, I'll cover that in a little while. So yeah, prehab it as much as you can. All the research that I've done myself and everything I've been told, and same with loads of injuries, the better the prehab, the better your post-op experience is going to be, and ultimately, the better your new normal is going to be. So I cannot stress that enough. Whatever period of time that you've got and whatever you can do, make the most of it. And now what to expect on surgery day. So I went through the NHS in the UK. Obviously, it's going to look slightly different for different places, different hospitals, different healthcare. But yeah, so I mean, you go in. My surgery was about 4 hours. The surgery that I had is essentially where they take a tendon. So open up this side of the wrist, which you can kind of see my scar from. Open up the other side, and then let's see if I can roll this up. I don't think you can really see these anymore. I can't even see them myself. But essentially, take a bit of the tendon here, a little bit here, and then they'll open up, reconstruct the ligament using the tendon. It's actually insane. Medicine is insane. I can't believe that it's even possible. But that's the surgery that I had. It took about 4 hours. The surgery day itself is one of the weirdest experiences of my life. If you've never been under general anesthetic, then I don't know what to tell you. Enjoy. So for me, I had a long wait on the day. I think I was the last person into the surgery room. It's about 4 hours I was waiting, I think. And then just like that, whisked into the pre-surgery room, get changed, and then into the surgery theatre. And then I swear it feels like about 5 seconds passes from when they give you the anesthetic and you're knocked out to waking up. I actually don't know how to describe it. It literally feels like you close your eyes for 5 seconds and then suddenly you're awake. I also had a nerve block. So they essentially put something in the top of your arm and it wipes out your entire arm. So for hours after the surgery, you have no use of your arm, can't feel anything. Also, really funny experience, especially after I woke up and I was a bit confused. Arm flopping around, couldn't use it. Immediately post-surgery, again, general anesthetic, people have different reactions. To be honest, I was fine, a bit tired, woke up. Luckily, I had my family with me, or my mum took me back home. Maybe about an hour after I woke up from the surgery. They're obviously going to make sure that you're okay, make sure there's no issues. The nerve block was the weirdest thing, probably the worst part of the immediate post-surgery. Not having use of that arm and just not being able to feel it. Obviously, you've never not been able to feel a whole limb. It's a very weird experience. I sat there and I thought, well, one, I'm not in any pain because I can't feel anything and I know the pain's on the way. And secondly, you can't help but like, what if I could never feel my arm again? I'm laughing, but it wasn't funny. So be ready for that. It's a really weird feeling. It's a really weird feeling, but you know, there's loads of things that can happen after surgery. People feel sick, people are nauseous, people throw up. Luckily for me, I had none of that. I kind of, to be honest, just woke up and pretty much, I think one of the first things I said was like, get me out of here, it's been a long day. So that was lucky on my part, but hopefully the same for you. And then over the next kind of 24 hours is when that nerve block starts to wear off. It's really important, obviously, to be really careful, kind of in a full cast at that point. Just be really careful, don't knock it, keep it elevated. If you've got people around you to essentially just let you sit there and do nothing, that is what you need to do. Again, luckily for me, I've got a mum who was also in healthcare, so knew exactly what to do. Wouldn't let me, even if I tried, to do anything. So yeah, that first couple of days, keep it elevated, keep it dry. I was given a sling. I just sat for a couple of days with my arm up. And over that next 24 hours is where that pain is going to start to set in. The feeling in your arm or your wrist is going to come back. And obviously with that then comes the pain. I took painkillers. I'm also somebody who I don't like to take things unless I have to. I really had to. I had to take painkillers as often as I was allowed. I think it's actually often suggested to take painkillers before the anesthetic wears off. I didn't do that because I'm stubborn. But yeah, they would suggest. And then, yeah, the deal for the next few days is literally just rest and recovery. Again, a mistake that I made is after I think day 3 or day 4 of my surgery, when the pain or like the throbbing pain started to wear off, I said, yep, I'm off to the gym. I'm not obviously going to do anything crazy, but I was already missing exercises. I'm somebody who exercises pretty much every day. Terrible idea. I was humbled very, very quickly. Do not do that. Just rest. Like whatever you can do to rest, just rest. Arm up, don't move, elevate for at least the first like few days, week, as long as you can bear it, essentially. The pain that I was in after exercising, and I did nothing really. I think I just walked on a treadmill, did some like body weight squats, my arm up here in my car. Terrible idea, don't do that. Yeah, really important to start moving your fingers as soon as you can. Just get everything moving. Was something I was told really early as well. So as much as I could, yeah, just early doors. You move your fingers, I said, in a kind of a block cast from just the lower arm all the way to here. But yeah, move fingers as much as you can. Usually in the first couple of weeks, you'll then go or be scheduled for a wound check where they'll open up your cast. At first, it's just a plaster cast. And then after those couple of weeks, they'll check the wound, clean it. And then I've got a fiberglass cast. Again, obviously, I guess that'll be slightly different depending on where you are in the world. But I think the timeline is still relatively similar. You're going to get a wound check in a couple of weeks and they'll clean it up and administer a new cast for you. I believe for the most part it's about 4 weeks of being in a cast. Unfortunately for me, I had an extra couple of weeks. My surgeon, who was an incredible surgeon, did a really good job. Surgery went really well, but I think he had a couple of cases where there was an issue with the repair from kind of too much load early on. So just off the back of that, he said it never happened before, but he'd had a couple of cases within the last kind of couple of surgeries or something along the lines of. So for preventative measures, I ended up in a cast for I think overall 6 weeks maybe, which, considering I'd already been in a cast, which I think for like 8 weeks when I first broke it, very unenjoyable experience. It turned out all right. So again, what's a couple of weeks in the grand scheme of things. And then, so yeah, post-surgery, 6 to 8 weeks, I believe, is the general timeline for me. I think, as I said, it was 6 weeks. Cast gets removed altogether. Then given a splint. I had 2 splints. I had one that was kind of just I'm gonna say cotton that you Velcro with on and off, and then I had one that was also plastic, a little bit more rigid, a little bit more breathable as well. I was in the heat of summer, so that was very much appreciated. And at that point, you then kind of start your rehab. This, I would say, when I got my cast removed the first time, so when I got my cast changed and then when I got it removed, was when kind of the severity of the surgery hit me. I'll actually put it on the screen, but seeing the wound itself, trigger warning by the way, but seeing the wound itself, and also then when it was removed for the second time, just the complete immobilization of my wrist, I was like, okay, we got a long journey ahead, so you got to be prepared for that. Also, after being in a cast for that long, you lose a lot of muscle mass. I'm quite a big guy in general, and the mass that I lost in that kind of 6 weeks, just insane. So again, it all kind of hits at once. You know you've got a long journey ahead. Again, that's really something to be prepared for. most people will begin with just general range of motion movements, flexion, extension, rotation, real simple stuff. Again, I'll put a lot of it on the screen. I took some videos as I was going along, and then that is your life in rehab terms anyway, for the next few weeks, you know, between 6 weeks when that cast comes off, and even to now, like I said, I'm 6 months down the line. It is just a journey of range of motion exercises, steady loading, and just strengthening, grip strength training, flexion exercises, extension exercises, rotation exercises, stability exercises on repeat. It's so important to be as on it with that stuff as you possibly can be. I started really well. As the weeks and months went on, it inevitably becomes a bit harder. And to be honest, when I dropped off a little bit, I noticed the stagnation immediately in my progress. So again, I'm 6 months post-surgery. I'd imagine somebody who is either, again, pro sports or maybe just a bit more disciplined than I was with my rehab would be further along than I am now. It's real gradual, so it's a real gradual kind of process. There's no shortcuts. There's no jumps. It is just, you have to do the boring stuff every single day, day in, day out, and follow exactly what your physio told you to do to get back to wherever you want to get to as quickly as you possibly can. I will make no bones about the fact that this was the biggest grind. In my head, when I first did it, I thought, right, what I hate is casts. I've been in a cast a couple of times, arms, I've been in boots and plaster casts. I hate it. It's a horrible experience. And I thought that would be the worst part. It was short-term the worst part, but actually the hardest part has absolutely been the rehab since my cast and splint were taken away. The reason it's been the hardest is, again, because early on, you have quite a lot of change very quickly. You have quite a lot of milestones very quickly. It's two to 4 weeks of being in my first cast, a couple of weeks of being in my second cast. Then you get given a splint, and gradually that gets taken away. You have those milestones. Once you hit those, it's just a slog. You don't really see the process. It's extremely gradual. If you are, again, someone like me who trains a lot, who plays sport a lot, all of that is gone. It's stripped away, and you've just literally got to learn to do basics again. And I'm talking basics. Early on, I couldn't open bottle caps. I couldn't tie my shoelaces. Again, I'm blessed to have people around me, family and friends, who can help me with that stuff. I'm blessed to work in a job that I can essentially do with one hand. But all of that stuff early on, you've just got to get used to it. And beyond that, all of that will start to come back, but there's no real goalposts for that. It will happen when it happens. Then when you're talking about training, you're talking about return to sport, return to real loading on the wrist. It is a long process. It's a long process. I'm not going to give timelines on that. I mean, most people will return to sport, I think, after like 3 to 6 months. Full recovery in different instances can be up to a year. So I'm 6 months, and my range of motion is all right. My pain for day-to-day activities is pretty much gone at this point. Where my rehab is stepping up, I am still in pain, but it's because I'm loading my wrist. I'm pretty aggressive with my rehab in the hope to get as much range of motion back as possible. I haven't gone back to sport fully yet. I've done one training session where I've caught some footballs on air. Nothing even remotely contact-based. That's still to come. I guess I'll update at some point, but yeah, that's where we're at. I thought it was worth covering as well some like lingering symptoms that I don't really see anything about, that I had to ask doctors, surgeons, people who know better than I do, because they were kind of concerning. So the first one is pins and needles and numbness in my fingers, in my hand, in my wrist. That, I'm 6 months and I think the pins and needles and numbness have only really just completely gone. I would have pins and needles in my thumb a lot, in my fingers a lot. This area directly where the surgery was completely numb. My physio or my surgeon, I can't remember who it was, but actually said that it was likely that would be numb forever. It's not. I've actually got like my feeling back completely now, but she said it could be numb forever. I think the general kind of advice for that is, if it does linger for a long time, just continue to ask the question. I think it's pretty normal. My surgeon constantly said, yep, it's normal to subside, it's normal to subside. I was in there thinking, I don't know about that. But that's why he's the professional. So I'm good now. That's one symptom that took a long time to disappear. Obviously the stiffness just takes so long, takes really long. Likely and will never be the same. I think the general loss of range of motion is about 20 degrees. I'm way off that even now. I'm way over 20 degrees. I'm hoping it will get back to that point. I'd love it if it did. But the pins and needles and the numbness is probably the main one to be aware of. And not to panic when it happens. As I say, it's obviously important that you keep asking the question when you have your checkups. Whoever you speak to, let them know that it's there. They will know whatever your symptoms are, that whether it's something to be concerned about or not. So yeah, hopefully that helped. Pretty long video. If you've got any questions, feel free to drop me a follow and a message or a comment in the video below. I'm also on Instagram and TikTok with the same handle, JXHFlow. Continue to post what my recovery journey looks like in a bit more real time. So yeah, hopefully this helped. If you are about to have surgery, or if you've had surgery, or if you know it's on the way, good luck. I hope it goes well. Hopefully with this little bit of info, you're a little bit more informed than I was. But you'll get there. You'll get there, whoever you are. Got faith in you. You'll be good. Safe.